better services to youth in the community, because youth are our future. If we can't provide them with opportunities, where's the future of our community going to be? So it was really important for me to be able to work with youth and to put some kind of projects in place.
We see the big need for young people to do something in the community, whether by way of different kind of projects and activities, and so that our future leaders will have something to learn and something to do and be part of the community.
It was very, very difficult for people in Nunavut and in the Northwest Territories to access federal money, to get their hands on federal money. Because in many cases you had to fill out very, very long applications. You had to provide all kinds of information. And your project's got to match the very, very narrow guidelines that the federal government has in order to give you money. And what we tried to say to the federal government is that's not appropriate for the North. You should expand the way you provide money in the North, and you should talk to communities and you should say, what will work for you? Here's the problem. How can we solve the problem? What's the best way for this community to solve the problem? You listen to the community, and then you turn around as a federal government and you find a way to fund it.
I think you have to put yourself in the shoes of the people that you're going to affect with your programs and decisions. Sit down with them, truly listen, and have an authentic conversation about how to move forward.
It started in about 2005. A lot of federal departments were looking at demographics in the North and this really burgeoning youth population, and we wanted to figure out how we could support youth in the North. And it really came together in a 3-day conference in Iqaluit. And ultimately, we decided that we needed to figure out how to better collaborate among the federal family so that we could make the process easier for Northern youth to apply for federal funding.
And that was the beginning of making connections. The idea that we need to get a number of government departments together and take a view of the Arctic that's different than anything we've done in the past.
Our role at the Government of Canada is to develop programs and policies that are as responsive to community needs as possible and to spend federal funds in an efficient and accountable way. So this project involved getting a whole bunch of departments together to develop a new model to respond faster, better, and more efficiently with retaining the accountability at the community level and at the government level for the results.
We've really thrown the way we fund communities completely on its head. We've turned it on its head. We've gone from an incredibly huge administrative process to 7 departments funding the community of the youth in Pangnirtung with 1 application for all partners, 1 proposal, 1 consolidated budget, which is quite phenomenal, 1 evaluation, all common products.
Now, 5 years ago, we couldn't have done this. We would have had to deal with each of those federal departments, and nobody's got the time or the effort to do that.
We definitely want this model to be applied as widely as possible in remote communities across the country because there are the same challenges in other small communities where they deal with departments one-on-one, and we hope that this model could replace that so that there is a consolidated way for small communities to deal with the government as a whole entity and not to have to go through the individual departments and face all the administration that involves.
One of the most important things throughout this process is really all about culture change in the federal government. And without culture change, things like making connections can't happen.
I think the initiative shows that for any public servant, you don't have to accept that the way we've always done things is the way they always have to be. With some leadership and some initiative, it is possible to change things.
model was based on, I think, a fairly simple idea that if you gave youth positive experiences, that it would lead them away from being involved in negative experiences. And that is still actually very much at the heart of the work we do in Making Connections, is always trying to give more opportunities and hoping that youth will respond. The projects that Making Connections selects originate usually with the Youth Council in Pangnirtung, and they will at least once a year brainstorm ideas that they think would be a benefit to the youth in the community. They tend to be young leaders in the community that have a lot of bright ideas on what's needed, and it's very important that as older people listen to them and let the projects begin that speak to them rather than some adult's idea of what would be a good project.
Making Connections has made a very positive change in the community within the youth group, because it has raised a lot of awareness about opportunities that are open to them.
If I could describe Making Connections in one word, I would choose hope.
Awesome.
My one word is yes.
Period.
Potential.
It would be fun.
Period. In Inuktitut, I would say which kind of means in English to care for someone.
Common sense.
We've just said yes to the things that youth want to do.
It instills hope in a lot of people, in the participants and the employees and the entire community.
Wow. We did it.
It's the foundation of a love for our youth, and not only our youth, our elders get involved, the children, everyone. It connects everyone in the community.
To care for youth, to say that we care and that we want them to succeed.
Unforgettable.
We're trying to establish a model that not only will work here in Pangnirtung, but will work throughout the north. So at the end of this project, we'll have a box that we can pull off and say, Grisfjord, here's how we did it, or Pangnirtung, here's how we did it in Pang, so other communities can benefit from what we're doing.